All right, so you've done traditions, you have your blue ID, you know where you're working. What's next? Training and costumes. Woo! All right, so there's a couple different parts of training, and obviously it'll vary depending on your location and your role. I'm just gonna go over some generic training and maybe share a little bit of my experiences. Everyone, when you train, obviously the first part of training is traditions. You go to the class, check, done. Each park kind of does an orientation. So if you're in Magic Kingdom, your class is once upon a time is now, which I thought was the funniest thing. And then, so for like Magic Kingdom, for example, my first day of training was just, welcome to Magic Kingdom. This is what, you know, how this works. You go into the tunnels, you get acquainted with the area beneath Magic Kingdom. You see where everything is. You get to go on stage for a little. You walk through the whole park. It's really magical. It's really great. You get to see the whole park and it's awesome. But everyone will have generic training sessions in terms of safety. So basically the first couple days for us occurred at Disney University, which is where Traditions is. Disney University is actually located right across from the entrance to, not only the entrance, but like the parking lot for those who work in Magic Kingdom. So you'll have the parking lot over here and the shuttle that'll bring you to backstage Magic Kingdom. And then over here, you have Disney University. So it's really easy. Just take the bus. If you don't know how to get there, take the bus to the Magic Kingdom. Take the CP bus to Magic Kingdom anyway, because that'll take you to the backstage areas. Very easy, just walk across the street. So, in terms of these training sessions, it's the same attire as Traditions, you know, business professional. You'll go in and you'll sit in a classroom for 2 hours while they tell you how to properly lift a box on a shelf and how to safely use your green zone, red zone, yellow zone. It's very boring. It is, and I'm not gonna lie, it is the worst day of training. It's miserable. You know, but you're in the air conditioning and they try to mix some Disney trivia in. And you'll go over the 4 keys basics for Disney, which you'll learn about when you train. And then basically they'll just talk to you about generic safety information. And then from there, that was like the morning session. It was like 2 hours. Then from there, I went to another session, which was like specifically based on what you're doing. So the entertainment people will go one place, which will be like performers, character attendants, photo pass, and then, you know, the food people will go somewhere else, the merchandise people go somewhere else. So in my merchandise class, I took one called Merchantainment, which basically will talk about like the different areas of like a store and like what the different positions will be, what the jobs are for those positions, and how you can entertain people while helping them shop. I know some of my roommates were in different positions, and they, like the attractions people, talked about generic safety information for attractions, like history of attractions. Food people talked about food safety. They had to be food safety prepped, etc., etc. So it depends on your role. Basically, everyone's training is different. We also all had to take a class. We all had to take like food safety if you worked with any food. You had to take park safety, just generic. They want to make sure that you have like a pretty full range of motion in terms of knowing what you're looking for in your workplace. So it's not the most interesting days of training. It is kind of like a classroom and you're sitting there, you learn how to use cash registers, that kind of stuff. It's kind of boring, honestly. It's not like the most exciting training you're gonna do, but it is generic and everyone will do it. So the first couple days are a little bit anticlimactic, but then you get into the good training, and that's where I'll talk about next. You begin on-the-job training, which is the most exciting part of the program thus far. And I keep saying that because every time something new exciting happens. Okay, so for me, anyone in my group, we all went to Magic Kingdom, and costuming, we got dropped off at costuming building, which every park has, every resort has. Some of the resorts are compiled into one resort, so like you could work, say at the Polynesian, but your costuming could be at the Grand Floridian. You know, I don't know the specifics, but sometimes they're different. But you'll start your day at costuming, and that's where your trainer will meet you. So my trainer, her name was Wendy, she met me at costuming with all the rest of the CPs, and she pulled me aside, and I think I had one other girl with me, and we got pulled aside, and she took us and showed us all the costumes we would need, and we pulled our sizes. And then we all tried them on and modeled them for her so that she knew, you know, what we looked like, and making sure she thought that they fit right and how they were supposed to look. And then once we had finished that, we were able to put on our first costume of the day, which for me was my Adventureland pajama costume, which is so comfy, which was awesome. So we got to like put all that on, and she showed us where everything was in costuming, so we knew, so we could find them in the future if we wanted to. Costuming, you can return them and they'll wash them for you, or you could wash them at home. So she basically showed us all that stuff and how to check them out. From there, we went to Magic Kingdom and we went to the tunnel, and she gave us our lockers and our combinations. So we found our lockers, put all of our regular stuff in, all our professional clothes in there. And then from there, my training consisted of just a tour of my location, which I think is actually pretty consistent for most of the roles. You will have your trainer get in costume, and then he or she will take you around your location just to familiarize you. You'll meet some of your coordinators and your managers. You'll have like a one-on-one sit with them where they'll explain, you know, attendance policies, what they expect of you, that kind of stuff. It was really cool for me, honestly. I think Adventureland, like exploring Adventureland for the first time through the eyes of a cast member was really cool, because I got to use all those like cast member only entrances and exits and find out what's behind the doors. Like, this is a storage room, but it's not next to the store. You have to know these little quirks. If you take this route past Jungle Cruise, it'll get you to Main Street. Like, these crazy things that I did not know before I had put on the glasses of cast member and like put on my hat and started. So it's very exciting. From there, after that training, for merchandise people, we went into cash training. So they had us working on cash registers. They put us in stores from time to time so we could actually do some transactions with our trainer. I know it's a little different for entertainment people. Training is a lot more extensive, especially if you're a face character or attendant, because you really have to get used to, you know, creating the story for the guests. Attractions people also was a little bit longer because there's so many different positions for attractions, and you often work more than one ride if you're on the smaller rides. Food people I know also had a little bit longer because they also have like, they had food prep, food service, you know, cleaning. So there's a lot of different things. No matter what your role is, you're gonna have your generic, this is the area, I will show you around your area day. And then you'll go from there into a more specific training. I can talk about merchandise training because that's my experience. Merchandise training, as I said. Cash training, I was cash apron trained because I also worked on the glow carts at night. We talked about stocking. I had a stock training day, learning how to stock a store. And then from there, for everyone, you will have assessments. And it sounds scary, but it's really not. Don't panic. Your trainers are awesome and they will help you through the assessments. Basically, for me, it was a combination of showing my trainer that I knew where all the buttons were on the cash register. I could work the buttons on the cash register. I could give guests change back, that kind of thing. That's more through like observation, and they'll fill it out for you. And then the second part, we went to like a computer lab, and it was kind of like a multiple choice quiz. Like if a guest came up to me and I was on my cart and they asked me for change, can you give them change, yes or no? No, I couldn't give them change, that was the rule. So basically just see how you comprehend it. Your trainers will help explain the questions to you if they're confusing. They are there to help you, they want you to succeed. They will help you succeed, they'll keep going, they will train you as many days as you need, as many as you're comfortable with. Disney does their programs really well. They really make sure that you are comfortable with everything you're doing. They really want you to do well. So they will make sure you pass. Don't stress. You're not gonna fail and you're not gonna get fired. So breathe, you're gonna be fine. It's very exciting. The first day alone on the floor is just an exhilarating feeling. You're a Disney cast member. You finally get to work in your area. You're gonna have a blast. Don't panic, you're gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be fine. Training's very exciting. It's not as overwhelming as a lot of people think. Just go in with a happy attitude, be positive, bring magic, and you're gonna have a great time. So if you guys have any specific questions about training, even if it's specific role-based, I met a lot of people at Disney in a lot of different roles. So if you have questions about training for specific roles, please comment. I will happily contact people and put you in contact with people. I will ask them for their experience and maybe include some more videos about their experiences. I'll include, you know, paragraphs if they want to write me something. So please feel free to contact me with any questions you have, and I will make sure I get them answered for you guys as soon as possible. And I will talk to you guys soon. Bye guys.